Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is video number 4. Today we are going to be transforming ourselves into everyone's Bio-Exorcist favorite, Beetlejuice. For this video, I will link everything that I use down in the description box below. Be sure you subscribe, like the video, and hit that bell icon before you leave, so that way you're updated with any new videos coming up on my channel. I hope you all have a wonderful day, stay safe, and keep the spooky going. To start today's look, we are going in with the Wonder Glow Ahead Illuminating Face Oil to prep my skin. I went ahead and put that on already. Next, I'm going in with my Louise base in the shade 0.5 to prep my eyelids. I'm actually going to do my eyes first on this look since we are using darker purples, and then I'll go back in and do my foundation and the rest of my face. So with the Louise base, you can either use a brush or you can use your finger. I typically choose to use my finger just because I feel like the application is better for myself. And anytime you're working around the eyes, you want to make sure that you're being very gentle not to cause any damage to the skin, since it is very thin skin around your eyes as well as your eyeball. And I'm just going to bring that out a little bit further to the side of my eye, just to make sure we've got good coverage. And then I'll do the other side. You don't have to worry about this being too perfect. I'm going to go in and start with the shade Deviant from the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette. This we are going to use as our transition shade. I typically just go in with a little bit and go into the crease and blend it up towards my brow bone, just because I do have hooded eyes. This way you can actually see the color. Typically that's a special little trick for people with hooded eyes. For the shade, I am using the JH37 brush. It is a very small-ish fluffy brush, maybe medium fluffy brush. I'm just using that to blend out that Deviant shade. Next, I'm going to take a Moda Pro brush. It's the BMX 466 smudge brush. I'm actually going to use this to go back and darken my crease. And for that shade, we're going to be taking the color Gumdrop from the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker Palette. This is pretty light purple shade here. And we're just going to tap the end of our brush into it and go back into the crease. The shade is very similar to Deviant. It is slightly darker. And you don't have to worry about going too far down on your eyeshadow either. Since we're doing our eyes first, we can go back and clean it up with either a concealer or your foundation. And I'm just going back in with that fluffy brush, the JH37, with the Deviant shade, just to blend out the harshness from the Gumdrop shade. So next, to darken our outer corners, we're going to go in with the Jaclyn Hill X Morphe palette in Not My Journey to darken up that outer corner. And for this brush, I'm using the Jaclyn Hill Morphe JH33 blending brush. Normally when I'm darkening the outer corner of my eye, I use a little product to start off, and then I go back in. It's always easier to add more color than starting with way too much product and trying to make it work. So I'm just going to drag that into my crease. Gumdrop shade on that motor brush and just blend the two colors together in the crease. Like so. Now we're going to go back in again with that gumdrop shade and just blend these two together in the crease. And then come back in with that fluffy brush to blend out any harshness up at the top. I do want to bring this purple shade a little bit further in. So I'm trying to take with the little bit of product I have left and just blend that out a little more. So on a flat detail brush, it's the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH43 brush. I'm going to take the shade Bite Me from the Jawbreaker palette, and I'm just going to go back over this purple. It is a pretty metallic, dark purple shade, and I'm just going to go over that to give it a little bit more of a shimmery effect for the eyes. Just to give it a little bit more depth. Like so. And then I'll take that fluffy brush and just make sure we buff it out. So next I'm going to take my flat concealer brush here, and I'm going to carve out the inner portion of my eyeshadow so we can go back in with a different color for the inner corner. And don't worry if you go a little bit too far over. You can always go back and touch up the purple shades once you've put in your, once you've done the concealer and you put on that new shade that's going to go into the transition, or not the transition, the inner corner, and just go back in and darken everything back up if you need. I find it's easier just to buff out the concealer myself instead of trying to do it with the brush. So next what we're going to do is we're going to take the shade Wet Jewel from the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette, and we're going to put that on our inner corner. And to blend the two colors together, I'm also going to go in with the Take the Crown shade from the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette as well. It is a lighter purple, and I'm just going to add that to the end of the pink where it starts to transition into the purple, just to blend it together a little bit better than what it would normally. Now we can go back in with that purple shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette. And just blend everything together. Like so. Alright, so now that we have the top portion of our eyeshadow done, we'll come back and do the lower lash line once we do our foundation, concealer, and the rest of our face. So for my foundations, I'm going to do a mixture because Beetlejuice is more pale, lighter. I'm going to do a combination of the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade 110 Porcelain and my Louise base in 0.5, and I'm going to use that as my foundation for this video. To blend this out, I am using a damp beauty blender. Again, always use them damp. You get better coverage of your foundation and you don't have to use as much product. But I'm just going to continue this down my neck as well. To give us that white effect. Gotta get the ears. And I'm not going all the way over because most of my chest will be covered, but I just want to make sure that there is enough so that way we see, not see, but we're light enough for Beetlejuice. Alright, so for contour, I'm going in with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in Fair 00, and it is very white, just straight up white. And this is where I'll clean up my eyes. I'm just going in with my Morphe Jaclyn Hill foundation brush in JH03 just to help blend out underneath my under eye because it is a little hard with the beauty blender to get super precise. Alright, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a white eyeshadow and set my whole face, my under eye, and my chest area. For this, I'm taking the shade Virgin in the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker Palette with a BRBS 43 Coastal Scents fluffy brush, and just set that whole area. Actually, I needed something a little more dense to do this, so I'm going to go back in with the Jaclyn Hill JH08 brush because it is a little tighter, and that will give me the coverage that I'm looking for to set this. And I'm just going in with a stippling movement just so I don't move any of the product around. This process is a little time consuming. Alright, so now that I've gotten all of the eyeshadow applied, I'm going to go back in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Translucent Powder just to make sure everything is set in place and to make sure everything is really set and we are really pale white. Now that we have achieved the shade we want, we will begin the transformation for the rest of Beetlejuice. Alright, to start with our mold looking skin, we're going to go in with the MakeupAMurder Neon Green pigment, and then we'll go over that with a little bit of a darker, just to give it some deeper colors. I'm just taking a little bit of that neon green and going over my ears, like so. Next, I'm going in with the ColourPop Cosmetics Just My Luck palette in the shade Act Natural. And I'm going to take a fluffy brush and I'm just going to stipple over the bright green to give it a little bit more of a darker, like brownish, moss, dead skin kind of look. I'm also going to mix it with the shade Charmed from the Just My Look palette, just to give it a little bit more of the darker color that we're looking for. Like so. I'm going to take a little bit of highlight for my cheeks just to give it a little bit of sheen. For this, I'm using the Sarcophagus from Jeffree Star. Alright, so next I'm going to do my eyebrows. I'm just going to brush them out with a spoolie. And I'm going to take the Act Natural shade that we use from the Just My Look palette, the dark green here in the corner, and we're going to do my eyebrows. Y'all, I'm trying as hard as I can with this eyebrow. Trying to do it backwards is almost impossible. Alright, so I'm going to take that concealer brush and clean these up just a little bit. So, they're not perfect, but it does the trick. So what I'm going to do now is, because I do want this to be a little bit more modern of a Beetlejuice, I'm actually going to go back in with this darker purple shade that I have on the corner of my eyes, and I'm going to bring that more towards the inner corner above the shade that we put in the inner corner, and I'm also going to bring that down and smoke it out onto my lower lash line. Don't poke yourself in the eye with a brush. For the lip, I'm going in with the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Queen Bitch lipstick bundle in the shade I'm Royalty, which is this very pretty purple color. Alright, so I'm going to do my mascara and lashes off camera, and I'll be right back. Alright, so the lashes that I was gonna use, I can't find, so we just went with basic mascara. Doesn't look too bad. I used the Estee Lash Princess mascara that you can get at CVS. This stuff is amazing. It makes your eyes look like you have false eyelashes. They have this one. They do have a waterproof one. Since I am doing Beetlejuice, figured unwashed hair would be best. And now I'm going to go in with the temporary green crazy hair color, and I'm just going to transform my hair into a green-ish look. And there you have it, the completed Beetlejuice look.